Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here, back again with another video. So I kind of wanted to touch on this Kyler Murray situation. I think it's very interesting, and it's kind of out of left field for me a little bit, and I kind of just wanted to touch on it. So basically, the long and short of it is that, Kyler Murray is not going to play this year without a new contract. And I think I'll just be completely honest. I'm a pro player. I want all of these players to get paid. I think that they work hard. They deserve it, and this is what the market is, right? This is what the NFL is. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, and these guys should be compensated well. But I think Kyler Murray is making a mistake, and he's making a mistake from the standpoint that he is a quarterback, and everybody knows what the quarterback market is. Guys are getting paid. Guys are getting paid a lot of money. We just seen the Deshaun Watson contract, right? The most guaranteed money ever. His whole $230 million is guaranteed. Now, I don't think Kyler Murray is going to get that, but he's going to get paid, and he's still a very, very young player. This was his third year. He's on a rookie contract. He was the first overall pick in the draft, 3 seasons ago. He's going to get paid. He's definitely going to get paid. But the thing that Kyler Murray needs to understand is that the way to be successful and the way to at least get to Super Bowls, right, is to have the team maximize, a rookie quarterback, a talented rookie quarterback. I'm sorry, not a talented young quarterback on a rookie deal. That's the way to maximize it, and have the GM, have the organization put as many good players around him as they can, before his contract comes up, before it's time to pay him, before it's time to give him big money. That's what, teams are doing now. And a lot of teams are doing it. This is common practice in the NFL now. So from Kyler Murray's standpoint, I really don't understand why he feels that he needs to have a new contract right now after year 3. Now, obviously, I think the Cardinals are. I think they're happy with Kyler Murray. They're happy with his play. They're satisfied. There isn't really anything that they can be unhappy with. He's gotten better every single season. He's only been there 3 seasons, but he's gotten better every single season. I believe he's been a Pro Bowler all 3 seasons. And the Cardinals, they made the playoffs this past year. They didn't win a game, but they made the playoffs, and that's part of the process of being on this rookie deal, right? This is what the NFL is about right now. This is what it's about. It's about getting talent, acquiring as much talent as you can before you have to pay your quarterback, before you have to back up the Brinks truck and pay him. And that's what it's about. And I think Kyler Murray is making a huge mistake. Quarterbacks get paid. Quarterbacks have been getting paid, especially a guy like him. He's got 3 years of good service in the league, right? He's shown that he can progress, right? And there's some naysayers, when it comes to, a lot of people don't like his attitude. They think that he is, a little bit, a little self-centered, a little self-absorbed, whatever, But I mean, those are things that have not, those are things that have been said about 1,000 guys in the league. So that's not really, anything that's going to take away from him getting paid, or from him getting opportunities or whatever. That not at all, not at all. So what he needs to understand is that he needs to play. He needs to play this deal out, at least this season. He needs to play this out so the Cardinals can continue to get talent for him. Because once that deal comes up, we all seen what Dak Prescott was like this past season, right? We all seen what he was like, and he played well, and he gets to the playoffs, and you lose, and then now he's lost how much talent off of his roster. He's lost one of his best offensive linemen. He lost his most productive receiver over the past few years. You lose a guy on defense. You're losing players, and this is because of the contract. His cap hit is very, very high. And this is what's going to happen to Kyler Murray, and he needs to understand this. And I think that this is a mistake. I've read reports from I can't remember the reporter, NFL Network. his agent went to the table, looking to negotiate and all this stuff. And I guess the Cardinals were basically, basically telling him and his agent basically the same thing what I'm saying now. Like, we can discuss it, we can put the framework in place, but we have needs that we have to fill as a team. We need whatever it is that the Cardinals need. They need a little more help up front, as offensive line goes. I think they can use some more stuff on defense. They have holes to fill. They're not a perfect team. They're not a perfect roster by any stretch. They have drafted pretty well. They've drafted pretty well on offense, the skill positions and stuff like that, but they need help on the offensive line. Defensive line is okay, but they run into injuries as well too, J.J. Watt and stuff. So they can always add more talent, to make them more formidable. Especially considering this year, you look at a team like the Niners. The Niners are not going to be as good, in my opinion, as they were. You look at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are rebuilding. The only team in that division to compete with is the Rams. And, you never want to wish injury on players and all that stuff. But if it's a two-team division, like the NFC West is right now, Rams and Cardinals, the Cardinals are one injury away from Matt Stafford, and they're one injury away from winning the division and, potentially hosting a home playoff game. So Kyler Murray needs to keep this in mind. Like, they're not that far off. And, part of the reason why they're here is because his contract, his cap hit is so low. They haven't had to, back up the Brinks truck and pay him. They've been able to get talent. They've been able to bring in guys, J.J. Watt, A.J. Green. They've been able to do, some stuff, been able to pay, their superstars, safety, Buda Baker. They've been able to do different things, and that's part of the reason why they've had so much success. It's not just him. So he needs to understand this. And he needs to understand that quarterbacks will always get paid. Quarterbacks are always going to get paid. Always. He's going to continue getting paid until, he decides to hang it up. He'll continue getting paid. Like, this is never going to be an issue with the quarterback position, especially a guy like him. Kyler Murray is one of one. He has a specific set of skills at the quarterback position that other guys don't have. You can even look at Deshaun Watson. You can look at guys who run around. You can look at Lamar Jackson and all that stuff. Like, Kyler Murray is faster than Deshaun Watson. He's got quicker feet. He can, when a pocket breaks down, he's out of there and he's scrambling and he can pick up a first down, whatever, extend a drive with his legs. He's faster than Deshaun Watson. He throws the ball better than Lamar Jackson, right? Even if Lamar Jackson is faster, Lamar Jackson does not have the pocket presence, the pocket awareness, and his ball doesn't come out the same way that Kyler Murray's ball comes out. Kyler Murray is a guy who can do it all, really, from the quarterback position. Despite him, being on the smaller side, but he needs to understand he's gonna get paid. He's gonna get paid. He's gonna get his money, and I don't even think we're at a place right now with quarterbacks where even an injury is not going to derail guys getting paid. If Kyler Murray was to get injured or whatever, he's a guy, he has been dinged up. He's had little nagging injuries and stuff. Nothing too seriously, fortunately, but he's had some nagging injuries and things like that. But even if he was to tear an ACL or something like that, the Cardinals are still going to pay him because their alternative is nothing else. They got Colt McCoy, right? Colt McCoy has had his time as a starter in the league, and he hasn't been successful, right? Colt McCoy is best suited as a backup. He's best suited, playing, at most 3 to 4 games during the season, right? Picking up the slack for the starter if the starter's out. But that's where he's best suited. He's not suited to lead a team. He's not going to lead a team to the playoffs. He never has, and he hasn't shown that ability. He's a premier backup in my opinion, but he's not a guy that's going to come out there and do that for 17 games. And the Cardinals know this, and they can. There's options in drafts and all that stuff, but those guys are unknown. Those are unknown commodities. We know that Kyler Murray can play NFL football because he's done it for the past 3 years, right? Been a Pro Bowler for the past 3 years. Been electric. Been able to make some really, really, really outstanding plays. The play to DeAndre Hopkins, the one from a couple years ago, that Hail Mary, that stands out like that. Kyler Murray created that with his legs. You know, there's not a lot of guys in the league who can do that. The Cardinals know that. Everybody knows that. The fans know that as well too. So the Cardinals know that he is their best option at winning. So they're not looking to replace him. They're not looking to, you know, the draft next year, you know, because the quarterback class next year is going to be a hell of a lot better than it was this year. But again, those guys are talented, but they're unknown commodities. Can they pick up an NFL playbook? Can they adjust to the speed of the game? You know, can they do all the things? Can they read defenses? Can they make the right throws? There's a lot that goes into playing the quarterback position at the highest level, which is the NFL. And Kyler Murray is one of the best. He's one of the best at it. So he's going to get paid. He needs to understand. He needs to know his worth. And his worth is he will get paid. It's just he has to let some time go, you know. Play out this season. You know, you can negotiate. You can have the framework all in place and everything. Play out this season. Allow your GM to make you know, a few more moves. You know, there's still a lot of premium free agents out there, and as you know, free agency continues to go, and you know, we're in the second wave now, and then you're going to be in the third wave. Then we're going to be getting to training camp. A lot of those guys are going to be, you know, take less money to come and play with a talented team. So let your GM do his work, but just be patient. I think he needs to be patient. And stop playing the Instagram games and all that stuff, deleting, you know, the Cardinals and unfollowing and doing all this stuff. Like, let all that go. You're a quarterback. You are one of the best in the world at that. You know, there's only 32 starting quarterback jobs in the world, you know, and he is in the top. He is easily on the top end of those, right? Easily, probably top 10 in my opinion. So he needs to be patient. You know, let his team, let his franchise do the work. Now, if they don't, you know, put the players around him, or if they don't, you know, bring in some of the coaches who, you know, he feels like can help him and all that stuff, then yes, okay, maybe you can have a beef. But right now, man, you're still new. You're still fresh in the league. This is going to be your fourth year going into it. You know, you've seen what the Bengals did with Joe Burrow. You can get to a Super Bowl with a team that is not, you know, talented from 1 to 53, with super extra talented. Like, you can cover up for a lot of deficiencies that teams have. So, you know, if that happens, you know, you can, then you can really get paid. You can really back up that Brinks truck, and then you can really, you know, get that contract and get the respect that you want. But as of right now, play the year out, ball out again. You know, try to win the division, try to host home playoff games, and then see what happens. And then, you know, once the year is done, you can get your money. You'll get your money. You'll get a lot of it guaranteed, and you know, you'll be good. And then you'll be set up to have, you know, your third contract to look similar, either similar or even more than it was in your second contract. So Kyler Murray needs to chill out. He needs to relax a little bit. I think he's a little bit too high strung. You know, he might be listening to, you know, he might be getting bad advice from an agent, whatever. You know, you never know. All these agents aren't great. A lot of these guys get bad advice. And I think it's just, it's on the player whether or not they listen to it. You know, the perfect example was the Melvin Gordon situation with the Chargers. What was it, 3 years ago? He wanted a lot of money. The Chargers were willing to offer him $10 million on average a year. $10 million a year for a running back. That would have been ridiculous. You know, in terms of right now, that's ridiculous. You know, who's getting $10 million a year as a running back? Think of Derrick Henry, Ezekiel Elliott, and you know, who's actually worth $10 million a year? Maybe just Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion. But he's still, you know, in the second year, he's not even close to getting an extension yet. So Melvin Gordon would have been top of the market at the running back position for the Chargers, but he thought he was worth more than that. So he ended up, you know, signing that franchise tag. Extremely late. You know, he came in late as well too, and then he didn't even see a fraction of that money in free agency once he was a free agent. So the bad advice, man, if he's getting bad advice, he should, you know, surround himself with more people that can level his head out, because this is not the way to deal with this situation right now. And I don't think that the Cardinals are going to trade him. It will take an act of God for the Cardinals to trade their Pro Bowl quarterback, their three-time Pro Bowl quarterback in consecutive years. So, I think it'd be an act of God if they do trade him, but Kyler Murray needs to relax just a little bit, just relax. They have a chance to be successful next year, and they have a chance to win a lot of games, and they have a chance to have success in the playoffs as well. So, but yeah, I thought I would just cover that. This is a very, very interesting situation. Kyler Murray stirring the pot up in Arizona, and hopefully this is the last that we hear of it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when training camp comes. All the voluntary workouts and all that stuff really don't mean anything. We'll see if he's on the field during training camp. I think he will be, but again, we'll see if he continues to stir the pot or not. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And that's all I got for this one, guys. Have a good night, and until next time.